Right. Buenos días, clase.
Buenos días, Ms. Barragan.
Today we're going to talk about reflexive verbs. Our objective is to talk about getting ready and your daily routine. Alright, your can-do statement at the end of today's lesson and the activities we do is say with me, I can talk about my daily routine. Yeah. Okay, certain verbs in Spanish require an extra step when they are used. Reflexive verbs are a little bit special, but nothing that is crazy that you won't be able to understand at the end of today, okay? Alright, so the following examples demonstrate the idea of behind reflexive verbs. Okay, so look at this. I got myself up at 6:30. The new word that you had never seen before in our Spanish sentences is what? Myself. She got her stuff dressed. So the idea behind reflexive verbs is every action that you do is done to yourself. Muy bien. Many reflexive verbs have to do with personal hygiene and daily routine. Reflexive verbs follow the normal verbs for the conjugations, whether it be AR, ER, or IR. Okay, so AR verbs end in O, asa, amos, and an. ER and IR verbs are identical except for what form? Yep, the nosotros form. So with the reflexive verbs, you're going to put just the same old ending, but instead of dropping the last two letters, you're going to drop the last four because you want to get rid of that AR, the ER, the IR, just like before. Okay, so dropping the last four if it ends in SE. Muy bien. Next slide. Okay, your reflexive pronouns are something different. Before you only had the yo, the tú, the él, nosotros, ellos, okay? Now you're going to add me, te, se, nos, or se. And what these means are, me means to myself, te means to yourself, himself, ourselves, and themselves, right? So the se there just represents you're doing the action to yourself. So before you conjugate the verb, you're going to have to add one of these reflexive pronouns before the verb to show that you're doing it to yourself. Okay, because bañarse, ducharse, you can shower someone, you can bathe someone, like maybe your dog or something, okay? But it's not reflexive unless you're doing it to yourself. And to show that, you will add a reflexive pronoun. See?
Sí.
Okay. Alright, look at this verb. Bañarse, it ends in what two letters? S-E. Had you ever seen that before?
No.
No, right? So drop the S-E and you're left with AR, right? Which is back to your normal AR, ER, IR verbs. Yes or no?
Sí.
Muy bien. So the only thing that SE is adding to this verb is making it to yourself, reflexive. Alright, say it with me, bañarse. Now we're going to act this out. What do you think it means?
To bathe.
To bathe what?
Yourself.
Alright, do it with me. Bañarse.
Bañarse.
Next slide. Ducharse. What do you think it is?
To shower.
To shower oneself. Alright, do it with me. To shower oneself. You got the water right here. Muy bien. Perfecto. Looking at the ending of the verb, without the SE being there, what category does it fit into?
AR.
AR. Muy bien. So you're going to conjugate it just like an AR verb, correct? Muy bien. Except you're going to do something special with the SE. Okay, let's do the next one. I say it with me. Vestirse.
Vestirse.
Okay, so the order in which you will conjugate these verbs now is you're going to move the SE at the end of the verb. So like bañarse, ducharse, you're removing the SE. You're going to conjugate the verb just like you would before, o asamos or an. And you're going to replace the SE at the end of that verb, which you have just removed, to show who is doing the action. So you're going to add me, te, se, nos, or se. Correct? Okay. Alright, so for example, you're going to move the SE of bañarse, you're going to be left with what? Bañar. Yo is there because we want to make this entire sentence match yo, which means you're doing this action to yourself, right? Okay, the next slide will show you the SE being removed and moving to the front, but however, SE does not match with yo, right? SE needs to be what? Me. Okay? So here, you're about to conjugate the verb bañar. You're dropping the last two letters just like you would before. You're adding the O, which now matches yo, but the se needs to be changed to me, which you'll see in the next slide. Okay, now you're going to replace se with me. Now you got yo me baño, which means I bathe myself. So it will be in this order. Me will be before your verb, and then you'll just read it kind of backwards, like I bathe myself. Bien? Okay. Grab the little baggies with the strips of paper. You're going to be working in pairs of two. So you're going to be working with your shoulder partner. So you will remove all those sheets. We're going to be forming sentences to practice the concept just learned. Okay, at the end of every statement I make, please wait for me to check your work, and then remove those 2 strips of papers, because every sentence is going to be made up of 2 strips. Remove it to the side without scrambling it or anything like that, and none of the pieces of papers are going to be used twice. Okay, so keep 2 separate bunches. Okay, here's your first sentence. I have to prepare myself. I have, there's a formula within this sentence. I have to prepare myself. Muy bien, excelente. Great job. Muy bien. See, remember, we only use 1 reflexive pronoun per sentence. So what would it be instead? Okay. Okay, put those aside, guys. We're not going to use those anymore. Don't mix them in with the other ones. All right, your next one is going to be you fix your hair. You fix your hair. 2 strips of papers, only 1 reflexive pronoun per sentence. What we're going to do is actually an oral activity. You've already created sentences, so you know exactly how you are supposed to create the sentences, how you are supposed to say them. So we've covered sentence structures. So what you're going to do is, you see the boxes that are highlighted, correct? Okay, you're going to ask your partner. They're already in the to form for you, so that is exactly how you're going to say them, how you're going to ask. However, when you are asked, let's say I ask Hannah, Hannah will answer in the yo form, correct? All right, so you see how prefieres is conjugated? Well, it ends in es, so that's how I will ask Hannah. Prefieres peinarte? However, she's going to reply with what prefiero. Perfecto. So you guys see the idea?
Sí.
Okay, the same Spanish 1 concept is now being transferred over to the reflexive verbs. Okay, go ahead and ask each other. Ask yourself silently and answer the questions as best you can. Alright, so our focus today was what?
I can talk about my daily routine.
Muy bien. So do you guys feel like at the end of today you can
Yes.
talk about your daily routine in español?
Yes.
See? Thumbs up? You see? Middle if you're a little bit confused. Para abajo if you have no idea.